It is the most twisted crime story in New Mexico. The nightmarish details right out of a Hollywood script.
A sex torture chamber dubbed Satan's Den. One woman survived it all, and tonight she shares details she's never revealed. Krqe News 13's anchor Crystal Gutierrez shares her story of survival.
What's up, guys? All right, I took a poll. You guys wanted to see the toy box killer, David Parker Ray. So we're going to be taking a look at what he had his victims go through, because we have a survivor here that's going to be telling her tale, right? So let's see how twisted this guy really was, right? Here we go.
We have this indelible image in our minds, if we're from New Mexico, that of the woman running through the desert naked with the dog collar on.
You know, a lot of people would say you're not only a survivor, you saved other women.
No, I've never looked at it like that. I just look at it as I saved myself.
It's a story of survival like you've never heard before.
David Parker Ray's travel trailer.
I escaped the David Parker Ray incident.
It's led Cynthia Jaramillo and Christine Barber to start helping women working the street, just as Cynthia once did.
Yeah, prostitution is a dangerous job. Pro tip from TrueCrimeKing.
Cynthia's story starts here on Central Avenue, a historic highway filled with crime in Albuquerque, New Mexico. It's where she met the toy box killer.
Mr. Ray, did you kidnap that young woman against her will? Did you take her against her will?
After a childhood of abuse and molestation, Cynthia found herself on the streets in Albuquerque, first selling drugs, then selling her body.
Probably about 13.
That's how it usually goes, right? You run out of money, and then you still want the drugs, and what else are you gonna do, right?
About 13, I was like, I didn't have nothing, so I had to figure out how to survive.
This born survivor was about to have her survival skills tested to the limits.
That day, I don't know what was going through my head that day. I broke all my rules right there.
Rule number 1, don't get in RVs.
When we get to the back of the RV, he pulls out a badge and throws a handcuff on one of my wrists. I'm like, wait, no, this ain't right. You ain't a cop.
The man with the handcuffs was David Parker.
Yeah, if somebody takes you to the back of an RV and puts a handcuff around your wrist, that's a bad sign, right?
Ray. But as Cynthia reached for the door, something stopped her dead in her tracks.
I was like, literally my fingertips were touching the door when he yelled, Cindy.
Cindy is Cynthia's nickname.
That freaked me out because I didn't give him my name. I had given him another name.
Yeah, he's been stalking you. Fuck.
But Ray was talking to the woman who would later be charged as his accomplice, Cindy Hendy.
Oh.
A girl came out from behind a curtain in the RV, and she shocked me with a cattle prod.
A cattle prod, holy. Yeah, that'll hurt.
Cynthia remembers being dragged to the back of the RV. Then Ray handcuffed her to a cabinet.
Talk about premeditation, right? The dude had some girl hiding in the back with a cattle prod. You know, Jesus Christ.
They both got in the front of the RV and they started driving off.
And while the wheels of the RV were turning, the wheels in her mind were too. She needed to escape.
I unscrewed the cabinet where I was handcuffed to, and I remember like getting up on my feet and like kind of like crouching down. And I was like, as soon as the RV stops slow enough, I'm going to hit the door.
So she waited, each second seeming longer than the next. And then...
Well, I don't know why he had to slam on his brakes, but it made me tumble. I was loose. My hands were behind my back, but I was loose.
Cindy Hendy is first to notice Cynthia is free.
Well, she came to the back with the gun, and then he pulled over, and then he came to the back.
Then everything went black. Cynthia would wake up to the sound of Ray's voice on a recorded cassette tape.
Okay, we both know what you've been brought here for. A lot of
Yeah, listen to this. This is crazy.
Your wrists and ankles are chained, and you're gagged because you're not going to like the way I do it. You're going to be kept here, naked and chained down. I'm going to use you for a sex slave.
Yeah, imagine if you're already chained up and you can't go anywhere, and then you hear this tape come on, right?
The FBI says Ray recorded that audio tape in 1993.
And that tape goes on. It says a lot, can't play the whole thing because YouTube's cracking down, right? But if you look it up, that tape's messed up.
Cynthia was abducted in 1999. More than 22 years later, hearing his voice.
I'm sure that it goes without saying that you will not be given any opportunity to escape.
Still takes her back to that night.
If I thought that she knew enough to cause serious problems, you would not be turned loose. You would simply disappear.
What haunts her even more is knowing she likely was not the first person to hear it.
Yeah, I mean, if he's got a tape made, right? It's probably not his first time, right?
Yeah, the rest of it basically said what was going to happen to you. Like how he was going to torture you. Talked about the toy box.
The toy box, as Ray called it, was parked behind his home near Elephant.
That's the toy box. It's just this trailer, the little mobile trailer that has a hitch on it.
Butte. Aerial video shows it hiding in plain sight. Inside, a sex torture chamber with chains, whips, and pulleys. In the center of that room, a gynecological...
Hold on one second. Sorry.
chair where she suffered electric shocks.
The more pain that I showed, the more I hurt, the more he got off.
Strapped to the chair is where Cynthia spent hours being tortured. The rest of the...
Just want to pause it so you guys look at this shit. I mean, that's what it takes for this guy to get pleasure. You know what I mean? Something not right in the head there, right?
Tying a dog collar around her neck kept her chained to a pole by a bed. A padlock made sure she couldn't escape. But as Ray continued his twisted game for pleasure...
So I kind of just stopped responding to it, and I just took it. It was hard, but I took it.
Cynthia started playing her game of survival by studying her surroundings.
When they would take me from him...
Well, yes, you had to take it, right? I mean, you had to look for a place to get out, or a situation to get out, right?
Room to another, or take me to a different spot. I'd see the rules in it. One of them was don't trust a...
Don't forget neck chain, handboards, wrist and hand tape, leather hood or gag, radio, mic and phone, deadbolt, alarm system, the unexpected, bondage bar, handcuffs, leg irons, and keys. So this guy literally wrote down all this crap so he wouldn't forget.
Chained captive.
She knew the only way she would walk out alive was to escape. After 3 days of torture, she got her chance.
And I realized she had left the keys on the coffee table.
Cindy Hendy got a phone call and would make two crucial mistakes. First, she left Cynthia alone.
She got real excited. She went to the back.
Second, she left keys to that padlock in plain sight.
I put my feet up, and I got under the fence, and I pulled the table towards me, and then I went and I got the keys.
Cynthia was on the second key when Cindy runs back in.
Yeah, I tell you what, I'd be fighting that girl. I mean, it's life or death at that point. Because if Duke comes back in, he's gonna overpower her, you know, and it's game over at that point.
Got that lamp, and she started beating me with it. The lock came loose, and I pulled it. I picked up the phone in the ice pick, and I dialed 911, and I stabbed her. When she grabbed her head, as I just jumped, I dropped the phone, and I jumped from the bed to the living room floor and just bolted out the door.
You gotta do what you gotta do to survive, right? Good thing she did that. If you agree with me, hit that like button.
For the first time in days, Cynthia is outside and free. Her first thought, run.
I just ran up the road, and a car was passing me, and I was begging her. She rolled up her window, and she left it cracked, and I was begging her for help.
By this time, Cynthia was covered in blood, barefoot and naked.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess the person driving sees somebody covered in blood. You don't know if she just committed some murder, right? Or if she's a victim, like this girl was, right?
The terrifying image is too much for the stranger who drives off.
And she locked her door on me.
Wow, see? A lot of people don't want to get involved, right? I mean, some people just say, hey, it's not my problem, right? But then you get the good Samaritans that call the fucking cops, right?
In the distance, Cynthia sees a trailer with lights still on.
And I just ran in their door. I didn't even knock.
What did you see when you walked in?
That's what I would have done. You just run in their door. Let them call the cops, right? Unless they shoot you. I mean, but...
An elderly lady washing dishes. She was really calm. And she kept me calm. And then her husband came in, and he's all... I heard noise, and he sees me there naked, bloody, and his eyes, he's just like... He froze.
Yeah, if you see if a naked girl that's all bloody runs in your house, that's not a threat, right? I mean, that's a victim, right?
In the doorway.
The woman calls 911. Her husband helps the stranger standing in their living room covered in blood.
She had her husband go get me a robe and cover me. The man kept assuring me that he was not going to let him come and get me. And I'm like, he has a gun. He'll come in here and get me.
Authorities caught Ray and Cindy Hendy out looking for Cynthia. The next time Cynthia would see him was in court when Ray was convicted.
That dude does look like a creep, doesn't he? Look at that guy. He probably had to take these women hostage, or he'd be an incel, right? Involuntary, what's it called? Whatever, involuntary. Someone
Cindy
put in the comments.
also
My mind's going blank.
and served nearly 20 years before being released in 2019.
Celibate, involuntary celibate, something like that.
Do I forgive her? Yeah, I forgive her. I think there was a part of her that was David Parker Ray's a victim too.
I wouldn't forgive her. Fuck that. She was alone. She had the chance to just let you go. You know, she could have said she wasn't there when, you know, I wouldn't forgive her. But, you know, good for her for forgiving her, right?
Was sentenced to more than 223 years for sexually torturing 2 women, one being Cynthia. He claimed to have abducted 40 women from across the U.S. Since no bodies were ever found, he was never charged.
Yeah, and see, most of them people, they heard that tape, and that was the last thing they probably ever heard, except for this guy's voice, right? I mean, it's not that would suck to go out that way. You know, the guy should be behind bars for the rest of his life.
And he never will be. Ray died in prison in 2002.
Oh, okay, good.
By heart attack. Cynthia now pays it forward with her nonprofit Street Safe.
And that's not an allegedly good. That's my opinion. Good. I'm glad he's dead.
New Mexico. She and her partner Christine pay for hotel rooms for women on the street to shower and sleep. They also hand out essentials, including clothes, and testify in court when a woman gets raped by a John, making sure the survivor gets the last word.
I'm not his victim. I was never his victim.
Yeah, good for her. Good for her.
Wish he could have known that.
Crystal Gutierrez, KRQE News 13.
Well, that's a little documentary and some info on the toy box killer. If you liked it, you know what to do. And until next time, True Crime King, out.